All right, folks, hold on tight, for we are about to enter a world of political unrest in sunny California. Consider this: a state where rising costs, homelessness, and violence seem to be the norm. In your opinion, who is getting all the attention?
If you believe that Gavin Newsom is a popular governor in California, then please call me immediately. I'd like to talk to you about a bridge I have for sale. Also, I'd like to direct your attention toward this billboard. It's a photo of Gavin Newsom in a suit next to Butthead in a suit, and the resemblance is uncanny. And it says, "I'm Gavin. I destroyed California with my bad ideas." Yeah, but that's not all. It rotates. The Gavin and Butthead is just the first in many hilarious images that pop up on the billboard. The next one says, "Congratulations, Newsom. Highest gas prices in America." Totally true. Then it flips to, "Congratulations, Newsom. Record crime, violence, and homelessness." Also very true. Not a record I think you'd be proud of, but a record nonetheless. Then finally, it flips to "Stop Newsom's redistricting campaign." And this guy's currently leading the Democrats for the presidential nomination in 2028. Man, if Gavin Newsom is the best that the Democrats have to offer, then I really like J.D. Vance's chances.
California Governor Gavin Newsom. You heard right. Whether in the bustling streets of Los Angeles or the tech corridors of Silicon Valley, people are just exhausted. Everyone is confused by homelessness. Parents are worried about crime statistics, and high gas prices are draining their wallets. I mean, what's even going on? But there's more. Everyone is on edge due to this controversial redistricting proposal. On top of all that chaos, I assure you that it has led Californians to question their leadership in every manner.
In front of voting booths and polling places all across this country. That's where ICE will be sent.
Well, that would be a silly place for them to go, considering you've told us many times people here illegally don't.
And the worst is yet to come. Even some of his staunchest fans now find it hard to back him.
I hate to break it to you guys, but you're not starting a revolution by throwing blocks of cement at ICE agents while they're driving, and while also blocking a federal bus on the 101 freeway in LA. You're not doing anything but besides putting people in danger, and you're being really fucking annoying. I don't understand what's with people thinking they can block a moving vehicle. And why are you on the freeway? Is their liberal logic? Yeah, I'm gonna bring my kids and my toddlers to a riot and a protest to hide behind them like a shield. Because guess what? A little kid got pepper sprayed. Would you look at that? They're literally walking on the freeway. The 101 freeway in LA, by the way, so if you live in California, you know, holding Mexican flags. I mean, you can't make this fucking shit up. Every time I see these riots and these protests, you never see an American flag. You see every other flag for another country. It's so
It's dramatic. It's a contentious issue. And it's all taking place in the Golden State. Wear your seatbelt then. But if you're as excited about these hot topics as I am, please hit the subscribe button. It makes my day happier. I promise that you won't miss any updates on this fascinating story. Keep checking back for the latest information, and I promise you won't want to miss what happens next. Thank you to everyone who watched. All right, let's take a closer look at what's truly going on in California and the causes of the general outrage toward Governor Gavin Newsom. To be honest, the primary factor appears to be the high cost of living. The expense of living in California is, well, outrageous, despite the state's long-standing reputation for its creative economy and breathtaking scenery. People are rethinking their decision to fill up because of the rapidly rising cost of gas.
Hard for someone who has the highest tax rate in the country, has the highest tax burden, has the highest debt in the country, has the most expensive fuel in the country, has the most expensive mortgages and housing in the country, has the highest unhoused homelessness in the country, has the highest unemployment rate in the country. I mean, yeah, I guess it would be hard to do anything but say, but Donald Trump, when you suck so bad. Do you think that this is a new low for Democrats and Gavin Newsom? Because I mean, when MSNBC is screaming at you because you're not doing your freaking bare minimum job, that's pretty freaking bad. MSNBC, the MSDNC is what we like to call it. To top it off, he's doing this whole redistricting crusade like he's some crusader when their current map is 17% congressional districts for Republicans, and the new map in Texas is 21% congressional districts for Democrats. And the difference between Republican voters in California and Democrat voters in Texas is 4%. So essentially, they're evening the...
Imagine having to fill up your tank just to get to work, and then discovering that you're spending more money on gas than groceries. The pain is real for ordinary folks who are struggling to make ends meet. Now add criminality, another pervasive issue, to those outrageous costs. People are asking where the safety net is because it seems like there's a carjacking or smash and grab every other day.
Here to speak for the 16,000 people that wrote in, took their time to write comments, and you don't have the time to look at them and you won't put them in as part of this meeting. That's despicable. I am strongly opposed to this bill.
Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Angelo Frazier from Bakersfield, California. I oppose the bill. I'm a Christian, I'm a Republican, and I just happen to be black. This is racism 101 all over again.
Madam Chair, Horacio Gonzalez on behalf of California's Business Roundtable, one of the early sponsors of California's independent redistricting process. We urge you to reject both bills and keep our process free of politics.
And they just changed the law that we are supposed to vote on for the election 10 minutes ago. And they are asking all of us here in the legislative body to vote on that, and we haven't even seen the language that they changed. This is the most undemocratic process you could possibly imagine. We are voting on a law where none of us has seen the new amendment. It is a new law now. They have changed it entirely, and now they're forcing it on us and on the floor. People need to see this. This is wrong. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. 40 million Californians deserve more than 10 minutes of deliberation, especially when your elected leaders haven't even seen it. Please share, tell everybody what is going on in Sacramento is the most undemocratic process you could possibly.
People in the area care about more than just themselves. They worry about their children, their elderly parents, and their neighbors. It's just unsettling to know that walking outside could be dangerous. Not to mention homelessness, as if that weren't enough. It's very amazing. Everywhere you turn in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, you see tents.
California. And I simply cannot express just how appalled I am by the behavior displayed by Democrat members of the California State Legislature. The uncivil conduct, the blatant lack of transparency, and the complete disregard for their constituents here in California. This proposed redistricting is simply for the purpose of giving President Trump and Texas Republicans the middle finger. It is in direct retaliation to the proposed redistricting in Texas, but the last I checked, this state's legislative body had a responsibility to the people of California. That is who they're in service to. Not only is this in direct violation of state constitutional law as well as the Voters' Rights Act, but it's also going to cost California taxpayers upwards of $300 million, and that's before the many legal fees that are guaranteed to occur. Democrats claim that this is to protect democracy, but their apparent way to do that is to completely erode the democratic process in this state altogether.
Been a political earthquake today here in California. Governor Newsom is under fire from the League of Women Voters of California, a nonpartisan voting rights group who are calling his push for mid-cycle redistricting a shameless attempt to rig the political map in his favor. The nonpartisan watchdog said the plan would gut California's voter-approved independent redistricting process, a system they call a national model for fairness and transparency, and replace it with the same kind of partisan map manipulation California voters fought to eliminate. In their statement and letter to the governor, they warned that Newsom's plan would erode public trust, weaken democratic safeguards, and set a dangerous precedent for future power grabs. In their words, you don't save democracy by imitating those who seek to destroy it. You save it by inspiring voters with bold ideas and principled leadership. Coming from a group that rarely weighs in so forcefully, this message is a political...
It's terrible and brings up significant leadership questions. What is the plan? Will there be any workable answers in the near future? As it seems like folks are waiting interminably. As a result, these are the issues that are simmering deeply. But what truly appears to be igniting the powder keg is the way Gavin Newsom handled, or rather mishandled, the issue. His redistricting proposal, which we will talk about soon, has many perplexed and wonder what is politically motivated and what is fair. Shall we talk about accountability? You would expect that the leadership would be eager to address these issues as they have accumulated. Instead, we have a lot of talk and promises, but little real, tangible action. At what seems like a fresh news conference every other week, Newsom discusses transformation, but nothing ever happens. In fact, you can sense the frustration. Stay with me because this is when the story takes an interesting turn. He is being criticized by more than just his political rivals. No, Californians themselves deal directly with the problem. People are speaking out at town halls and protesting everywhere. People are physically coming to the streets to demand change. It's also more than just passive whining. These are the people that deal with these issues every day. It's not cooked. It's honest. It's emotional as well.
See, the Democrats are trying to find their footing, and it's quite embarrassing, actually. I mean, Gavin Newsom, have you seen what he's doing online? And I have a good idea. Instead of trying to school Donald Trump, talk into the camera about affordability. I try to drag Muhammad Ali in the ring when you got Chuck Wepner standing right in front of you. You're screwing up on job one. And job one is helping working Americans and helping the middle class afford their lives and build a life where their children are going to live better than them. That's the American dream. And you have done nothing but play politics over the past year and a half. Gavin Newsom, he wants to own Donald Trump. He wants to be Donald Trump light. You can't be Donald Trump light. Hey, Gavin, talk into the camera and talk about making life more affordable, not only for people in California, but if you want to talk about people in New Hampshire, our people in Iowa, our people in South Carolina, they would like to know how their lives can be more affordable, not how you can own Donald Trump.
Think about how these controversial town halls are being captured by the local media. Regular people, such as Jose from East LA, will passionately describe how he feels abandoned by a government that should be supporting him. For instance, because her customers can no longer purchase her products, Vanessa, the owner of a small business in Sacramento, has been forced to fire half of her staff. She says it's hard to see her community change because families can no longer afford to live there. Then there are activist groups that are raising their voices more than they used to. People who are vocal and passionate include members of the League of Women Voters. Usually a neutral group, they are speaking up more than ever before, starting initiatives to influence the government through letter writing and petitions. To be fair, when tragedy and congestion meet, people finally snap. In relation to hot places, let's discuss the controversial redistricting proposal. Newsom's plan to modify the voting lines has touched a chord. Critics claim that it is a power play and that obtaining political influence is more important than the interests of the general public. I'm assuming you know how it operates. Political leaders who are seen as prioritizing power over their constituents are sure to spark controversy. You can hear these feelings echoing from the state's southern beaches to its northern limits. No one is being held accountable. This redistricting plan lacks the fairness that Newsom supporters often commend. Some, like Sarah, a high school teacher in Fresno, argue that it's just another way to keep things as they are without tackling any important problems that regular Californians deal with.